blow this scene. Get everybody in the stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, back to talk more Mandalorian. Yeah, that's right, there is something else out there besides Rise of Skywalker. So while everybody else is scrambling over themselves to talk about the latest and last Skywalker movie, let's talk about something that's actually, people have been positive about. Because I'm not seeing Rise of Skywalker. I refuse. But that's my choice. You will go, everybody, it's going to make $1 billion. So, I have no, I know everybody's going to see it. Just not me. I'm not putting myself through that again. But that's my choice. And so that's why I'm choosing to focus on The Mandalorian. And that's not just why. I'd actually rather be talking about Uncut Gems, but I can't, with the Adam Sandler movie that's supposed to be out. But I can't find it in a theater near me because out here in the country, these smaller movies are hard to find. But let's talk about The Mandalorian. It's Chapter 7. It's called The Reckoning. Full spoilers if you haven't seen this episode because I'm playing it behind me. This episode is pretty good as far as the production and everything that goes into it. There's a lot of things that work in here. There's a few things that don't. And most of it is just stuff that I've talked about in episodes past. That this is, like the Clone Wars. It's created, it's done by Favreau, but Filoni and people like him who, I didn't know until at the end after I reviewed and recorded and everything that Dave Filoni was the male pilot. Or, the one guy on the prisoner barge last episode. So that explains why he was just a guy. So that was pretty cool. I thought that was a nice little, Easter egg to have him in there. So that explains a lot. People, there was one commenter who said I don't have any imagination, and it's like, yeah, of course. Maybe if you watch just one video of mine, you might say that. But even then, I don't know. Like, I have to take umbrage to that comment. But this whole thing, right? This whole thing is written like an episode. This whole series is written like an episode of the Clone Wars, which means you kind of have to dumb yourself down for the kids. They need it to be easily explained and not over complicated. And so things need to happen in a way in these shows, in this particular series, or in the Star Wars Clone Wars, that maybe don't make sense. That maybe characters that you think would be smarter than this do things that don't make sense. It happens a lot on that show, where, on like the Clone Wars or Rebels, where it's just like, why would somebody do that? Oh yeah, this is a kid's show, so it has to happen this way. So when you show me a picture, of Giancarlo Esposito, you know he's in this somewhere, right? You just don't know what context. But come on, when you show the picture of him that looks like this, it looks like Gus Fring, the very serious look. You go, okay, he's the bad guy, and things are going to go wrong in this episode. It's not a matter of when or if; it's a matter of when. And it was bound to happen too, right? He's gone. He's been able to stay away from ahead of the Empire and the Hunters and everything. Something's going to have to give. There's going to have to be that episode where things go south. It's just that it's all really telegraphed and predictable, and even though, like I said, somewhere down the line it's coming, it'd be nice for them to do it in a way that surprises you. There's so many times in this episode that you go, oh, is this when it's going to happen? Oh, is this when it's going to happen? It didn't take from the overall enjoyment I had. It's just when you know all the beats are coming and checking off the boxes of certain episodes in a TV show or movie, it just kind of goes, it just makes it more predictable. And so, like, as soon as Carl Weathers says, "Hey, Mando, like, hey, why don't you come back here? Because the Empire guy, he's still here and he's making my life hard." And it's like, well, this is obviously a trap. Um, but let's talk about the good. And also, I'm not going to be talking about the Rise of Skywalker clip that's at the end because I'm literally not wanting to watch any of it. The trailers and stuff is already more than I want. The stuff that really works here is the continuation of, like, what is this kid? Now, I have a feeling that the whole force healing thing was put in here so that when they do it in Rise of Skywalker, they can say, see, it's been done before. Like, literally 2 days before, but it's been done before. And, well, I mean, now that some people have gotten to see it, which is, whatever, it's critics' reviews, right? There's that, but it's interesting. They don't explain it. I don't imagine they ever will. It's just going to be a thing, so that now they can say there was a precedent. And if a baby Yoda can do it, so can Rey. Or whoever does it in Rise of Skywalker. One of the other things that really works is when they camp out. And they're having these conversations and just chilling out, getting ready for the next day. And then out of nowhere, these beasts come flying down, like in the movie Pitch Black and stuff. That's what I thought for a second we were in. They start attacking, and it's really effective. It's actually really kind of scary. It took me off my game for a minute. I was like, oh, did not see this coming. Because, you're expecting the betrayal from within, not from a threat from outside of it. And so all bets are off in this scene. One of Carl Weathers' characters get taken away, and when they grab one of Wheel's, beasts, I was like, oh no! Like, I actually cared about these things that they're trying to that they ride on. You kept going, are they going to get the baby Yoda and everything, and that part really worked. Except one of the things that I've always had I mentioned, I think in the last episode, is these people couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Like, they barely, I know it's dark and everything, but so many lasers in the sky and they barely touch these things. I think they kill maybe one of them. Another thing is when they arrive on the planet, they're all on top of the beast. Like, they're like literally targets. If you're not on that thing, you can at least move around. There's nowhere to go when you're on top of one of these things if these guys are going to ambush you. It looks cool, but again, it's just done, you're not supposed to think about that. Or they don't want us to think about stuff like that. We're just supposed to sit there and enjoy it. And I find myself as a viewer and a reviewer and wanting for things to make sense. It just doesn't make any sense that these smart, capable characters put themselves in positions that they know, would generally know not to put themselves in. Now, the situation where they put themselves in there to protect a baby makes sense because they feel they have no choice. And that's where the predictability of it, is fine. Because he knows he's walking into a trap, but he just doesn't know the level of the trap. Because you never trust Carl Weathers for a second in this. Even when he turns on his own guys, I still go, there's another shoe that could drop here. So I don't mind that, I like that. I also like the fact that the Imperial on the planet didn't know the level that they were willing to sacrifice him. That was a nice touch. Because what is Giancarlo Esposito's name? I think is Moff Gideon. So he's like one of these Moff characters. I don't even know what a Moff is. I know that, is it a rank? I think it might be just a rank because there was Moff Tarkin. So, like, it's clearly not his first name. His first name isn't Moff Tarkin, or Moff, and his last name isn't Tarkin. It's his last name might be Tarkin, but Moff Gideon, Grand Moff Gideon. So I don't know what Moff means. Somebody out there, way more into the lore will tell me how stupid I am, because that's how nice Star Wars fans can be. What, if you get something wrong, what a Moff is. But anyway, he overplayed his value in this situation, so I like that too. I like Werner Herzog, but it's nice to see that they just cut him down. They cut everybody down in that room just to get this baby. I also like the stuff that they did with IG-11, where they showed the montage of him reprogramming this robot, which is, I think, supposed to be really important down the road. You know, that, and it's kind of predictable though, because you feel like this robot was kind of partnered up with him in the beginning. This could have gone right, but he couldn't fight its own programming, and tries to kill the baby, and now we have it reprogrammed to protect. And while Queel is right, this thing is neither bad nor good. It's just its programming. Whatever you make it do, whatever you teach it to do, is what it's going to do. It has no, I mean, I guess they could give it if they had an AI in it, where it learned and then decided to hate, that'd be a different story. But I think what we're being set up for is this robot to prove to the Mandalorian that not all droids are bad. That the droid's going to play a big part in getting the baby back, which is another point of, like, Queel gets killed, or at least we're led to believe he's dead. He's laying there looking pretty lifeless, but so did Ming-Na Wen. Maybe she's dead, maybe she's alive. Again, I don't know. And if there was, and the reason I don't know, I don't know if there was a post-credit scene, because I didn't want to get anywhere near that Rise of Skywalker thing. But it's fantastic to see Giancarlo Esposito in anything, okay? I even watched him in Once Upon a Time, and after a couple of seasons of that, I was like, no. Like, I like the idea, but the execution of it later on it was just stupid. But we're not here to talk about that. But I'm just proving a point that I'll watch Giancarlo Esposito in anything. And he was great here. He comes off and just like, oh, there's Gus Fring in space. I hope we get a lot more of him in the next episode, because no offense to Werner, but you can't, if I have a choice between Werner Herzog and Giancarlo Esposito, it's always going to go Giancarlo Esposito. Can I say his name anymore? It is like really early in the morning, by the way. It's not even 7 in the morning here. What else can we talk about? I like Gina Carano even more in this. I like her a lot. I like that she has this thing against the Empire. Like, as soon as he tells her that this is about an Imperial thing, she's like, I'm in. It kind of shows that not all Imperials, were down with the Empire. I also like what Werner Herzog says later about, is this peace? Is this anything changed? And it's like, that those kind of philosophies of, like, some of these people really did believe in what the Empire was doing. Maybe, but they didn't see, or they accepted the fact, or they were even in on all the things that were bad about it. Like, that were, we got to wipe out a lot of races to make peace, and to make peace we got to close things down and force people to be, the way we want. It's interesting to see true believers like that. What else do we got here? Well, I'm trying to think here if there's anything else I really need to say about it. Like I said, the production's really good here. When we complain about some of the CG in this, like the speeders, they still don't look great. But again, it doesn't make me go, oh God, oh, this is just terrible. And I still don't know what people have against the music. I know it's not John Williams, but come on. It's supposed to be, again, like, did you listen to the music in the Clone Wars? It is what it is. It's not, it's like a hybrid of something else. I happen to like it. I happen to find it fine. I shouldn't say I like it. I should say I'm ambivalent or indifferent about it. I like the more spaghetti western sounds that they use, but what else can I say? It's a lot of fun. There's so many twists you never know, but again, you always know something is going to go rotten here. And while they're pinned down, they're not captured. But they do have the baby. The whole thing where the baby almost kills Cara Dune, that was interesting. It's showing his protection, and how she's like, that's not cool. But all in all, like I said, if you can get past the predictability and the way that it's written, so that things you just have to kind of accept them in a way, in this, like, less than 40 minutes. If you take away all the other stuff, the credits, the post-credit scene with Skywalker and everything else, this is another really short episode. And it's like, I was fine with it at first. They're just telling the story that they need to. I do feel like if you're going to put all this other stuff at the beginning and the end and all that, to all of a sudden your 40-minute episode turns into like 35 or less, it's like, holy crap. When this is all said and done, this whole thing is probably going to be watchable in like what, like 4 hours maybe? I don't know. But otherwise, it still was enjoyable. And I can say that I'm still more excited for what goes on in this than anything else that's going on in the Star Wars universe right now. Because at least it's not having to make up for anything that people feel like it needs to be made up for, like whatever happened with The Last Jedi and all that stuff. So, for anybody that just wants a palate cleanser for Rise of Skywalker after you've seen it, you've always got The Mandalorian. For those of you who love The Rise of Skywalker, here's more Star Wars. You know, I don't know what else to tell you, except I enjoyed this quite a bit, even though I can't help myself to point out the things that just annoyed me. So, anyway, if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, all that jazz. You can find me on Twitter at reviews_gun. Otherwise, this is Robert Smirking and Reviews saying have a great day, and we'll see you on the next Mandalorian. Bye.